Hey, my name's Joven, and welcome back to Project Beats. And that goes for me as well. It's been a while, but good to see you guys. And Happy New Year! Happy New Year to everyone. Let's go straight into it. So, I was really looking for a practice kit for myself because I took out my drum set out of the house. That's gonna be for another video, another life update video. But let's jump straight into it. I'll be sharing with you my impressions and discuss who I think this product is for. I would say Evans DB1 is a premium practice solution for discerning drummers who's looking for a quiet practice solution. It can also be used as a teaching tool for when you want low volume but with great feel. Full transparency, I don't own one, so I can't provide long-term review. However, I do have some experience with various styles of mesh heads, which you would know if you've been following this channel. By the way, big thanks to 16 Beat Drums for allowing me to test it out in their store. And if you're in Singapore, you can go ahead and test it out in their store as well. Before we dive in, if you like this type of video, I'd appreciate if you hit subscribe. I know I'm late in this conversation and there are quite a bit of good reviews about it, so let me just share with you my impressions. First thing is quality. You could tell the level of quality in their product. It really says premium all over it. It's not exactly cheap, and for sure you would like to see and feel that quality and be confident in your purchase, right? Second, if you're familiar with mesh heads, you will know they're excellent for quiet practice, but they have one big problem, and that is feel, for me at least. Single ply mesh is the quietest option, but tends to bounce back excessively. I've heard this being called trampoline heads or trampoline feel, which is far from the feel of mylar or acoustic drum heads. Double and triple ply mesh heads feel better, and there are quality triple ply mesh heads that almost plays like an acoustic drum head. The best one I tried and own is the Real Feel triple ply from DrumTech. However, more plies would also mean more volume or noise, creating that compromise. Evans has engineered their mesh heads so that even a single ply, at least for the toms, feel as natural and close to an acoustic or mylar heads in terms of playing feel without increasing the noise level. The same thing for the kick drum as well. They added specifically positioned foam dampener at the bottom of the mesh heads to try to eliminate that trampoline feel and maybe reduce noise even more. Although this is really nothing new, people have been trying to fix the trampoline mesh bounce since mesh was released way back by Remo, I think. If I'm not wrong, they made the mesh heads for Roland V drums, and Roland had a patent for that. Yada a long story. Putting foam under the head is not exactly new. Roland has done it way back with V drums. You could see it in their kick drum. And DIY drummers have used all sorts of different foam under the mesh. But what I love here is that Evans made it accessible for everyone. And of course, they have the means and the tech to do it elegantly. And I'm sure they studied the optimal material to use and all that, on this best underside position for best playing feel. And based on my testing, the Evans DB1 actually feels really good and maybe better than the Real Feel by DrumTech, which is the best by far that I've tried. It may be quieter. If I'm not wrong, I think the DB1 is quieter than the Real Feel by DrumTech. So yeah, I think Evans DB1 is a really good mesh head. The feel and natural rebound, it's there. But then at least for my testing, you start to get more bouncy once you crank up the tension. So I'd say there is a sweet spot in head tension if you're aiming for best drum feel. I imagine they will also be good for triggering. For A2E, they probably have a more accurate triggering compared to just raw mesh without those underside foam. If you're wondering about drum tone for the tom, it's there, and that is thanks to the resonant head. Of course, as you adjust the head tension, the batter side, the tone will change. But what I would suggest is adjust the batter tension closest to how you want the playing feel to be, and then adjust the bottom resonant head for tone according to your preference. Of course, you could only do so much regarding tone. And then if you want less volume or noise, you could take out the resonant head. Maybe you can even use a pancake drums if you really like it to be super quiet. As far as innovation, they made something new that I only saw with the Evans DB1, and that is the snare mesh head. The way they did it is to put a mylar head underneath the mesh top. I don't exactly remember if it's single or double ply, but what they did is to laser cut the mylar head to this pattern, like a very big snare wire. What it does is it generates snare buzz, which gives you that snare buzz sound, but softer than when you have the acoustic snare on. And I think it was really well done. It has great feel, and I think it sounds good actually. You could still have the option of having your snare on with a snare mesh top. If you want, you could probably also use a tom style mesh head on the snare, and then have your snare wires on of your acoustic drums. So you have a lot of options for your snare drum. They also sell it as a pack with a low volume cymbal set, one-stop shop, and a perfect solution for quiet practice. The low volume cymbal set feels good, it behaves like an actual cymbal. The sound, of course, isn't something to write home about, but I would say they sound much better than those really cheap silver LVC you find around. It's the same sort of caveat with the low volume cymbals. The better they sound, the louder they are. Of course, there are B20 low volume cymbals out there, but they're almost as loud as an acoustic cymbals. So you kind of, pick your poison. I had a B20 cymbal from Alibaba, B20 low volume cymbal. If you've seen my A2E drums, they're from Alibaba. They sound really good. The problem is they're not really that soft, although the decay is really fast. So that's that. And they can get a bit pricey as well. But if you get them from Alibaba, they're not so bad actually. I'm actually looking at another brand at Alibaba right now. Maybe I'll order it and let you guys know what I think. But in terms of low volume cymbals, I think the ones from Zildjian might still be the best option. Those Zildjian L80. Meinl has one too. They look alike. They probably perform the same way as well. But yeah, I'll let you guys know if I end up getting that new low volume cymbals from Alibaba. But I think I have to make a lot more of these videos to afford this business expense. But anyway, I think it's a solid package. You can't go wrong with these. Once you are on that kit, you kind of forget you are playing mesh. They just feel really good. Very close to playing like an acoustic drums. You could go straight into your routine and whatever it is you are working on. They come in different sizes, so any size drums, you're going to be covered. They come with those very nice impact patch for the kick drum. I'd say use those. Don't worry about the marketing write-up about it. Just put it on. Keep those heads alive for long. You want it to last for long as well because, they aren't cheap. So in summary, great feel, quiet practice, correct drum size because you're just slapping it onto your actual drums. Unlike cheap E-drums, the pads are really small and the distance between drums could be off a little bit. So it's a great, practice solution. You could really hone in your muscle memory and all that. And then for cons, maybe the price, I would say. But I think they are made for, discerning drummers who really know what they want and very particular with the small things, very specific with their practice needs. I think this is a home run and is one of the best premium practice solutions out there. Emphasis on premium. In terms of noise level and playing feel, I think this might be the best mesh headset out there at the moment. I know it's a bit expensive, but I know and I can appreciate the level of quality and tech that they put in. So you would be the judge of that. If you have the budget, go for it. Although watch out for my next video because I'll be reviewing the Tama True Touch training set. And the one thing about that is, suspense, let me get this. I own one. But that's going to be for the next one. That's about it for this video. If you enjoyed it, drop me a like. Don't forget to subscribe. If I missed anything, I'm sure some of you will let me know. Thank you for that. If you have a question, drop it in the comments below. All right, see you in the next project.